So, hi, this is Erica Glessing, and I am going to be teaching today and getting messages from Spirit. And I'm so glad Janie joined us. Thank you, Janie.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm having some technological growth expansion changes in my new house. My old camera didn't work. Hi, Rira. Yay! So I've already moved it twice, and now I've sent out links now 3 times. So really, if anyone finds us, man, they are intended. We have basically lost the people that couldn't follow. So you guys, I have to tell you the first story that showed up for me when I this man, they are intended. Oh my gosh. Basically lost the people that, couldn't follow. So you guys, I have to tell you the first story that showed up for me when I this man, they are intended. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So last night I had this dream, and I was on a rural. I was on this field. Is there?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. So you know how when they teach access classes or group classes, oftentimes there'll be a group photo.
Mm-hmm.
So in my dream, and I've never even taken a class with access. In my dream, it was perfectly etched North Carolina with all these animals. It was on a farm, and then a group of people taking the class, and it was like a shot, and then there was a dollar bill in the photo.
Awesome.
So I woke up this morning and I signed up for my first foundation class.
How does it get better than that?
How's it going to So basically, it's like this way of like when getting messages from spirit, like not ignoring them, like saying, what is the energy sending me? What is it that if I expand bigger into my knowing can show up for me that I never before imagined? So it's those kind of crazy instances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So lately, and I said I'd open up with this, and we'll do some questions. Kind of, what would you like to have show up for you today? Actually, I think we're supposed to do that first, and then I've got messages from Michael for Janet that he wanted me to deliver on this call.
Awesome.
Yurira, if anything could happen for you in this call, what would it be today? Oh, I don't know if I have audio. Do you hear her, Janie?
I don't hear her. I wonder if she's muted.
I don't know. I didn't mute anyone. Here, maybe she could chat. Yeah. Um, you can chat
Ah,
questions. Oh, that'd
okay.
be good. So, Janie, if there's anything that could show up for you today, and I know you're such an intuitive already, and you have so many awarenesses, what would show up for you today?
um, hmm. I keep getting like clarity. I'm not exactly sure on what, but clarity on something.
I got clarity. The other word that showed up was trust.
Yeah.
So those are big. That's all.
Yeah.
You re-reckon you talk to us now, you think? Still don't hear you. No, but you can write questions. And I'll do a message from Michael right now because he's just dancing around everywhere until I give his message. So in about 2012, I started getting messages from the spirit of Michael Jackson. And lately, he's been giving me a lot of messages for his sister Janet, who's on kind of a major climb in her career. She's back with this show called, I think it's called Unbreakable Tour. And the kinds of messages he gives me are really interesting. They're very interesting because they're nothing I've ever paid attention to much before. They're kind of about our skin, like feeling good in our skin, feeling trusting to use lemons and drink a lot of water and pay attention to one's health and get enough like moving around and dancing and it's like not the kinds of messages that if you're just like a regular person going to a regular job, like the kinds of messages I got were more about listening to yourself when you need rest, listening to yourself when you need to change things up, not being afraid to change things up. Recently, I watched one of her videos and I was in awe that she's like my age doing videos that are sexy for my 12-year-old. And one of the messages I'm getting right now is to not be afraid of that awareness. And Janie, that feels like it's coming for you.
Okay.
Like when you're shown what's hip, what's real, what's now, when you're shown, you're being shown a roadmap. You get shown like roadmaps. And I'm being shown, you know what? That's a mother effing like vision. And not every human being wakes up being shown a roadmap.
Right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, and that's what I noticed today. This new program that I'm creating and putting together. All of a sudden, there's people teaching like, well, you should do this on a webinar, and I'm like, I already had that planned. Like I had been shown all this stuff, and now there's people teaching how to do that, and I'm like,
yeah.
That was last week that I got all this.
And Eureka's working on, I know some projects, even though I can't hear her. And when those are being shown to you, they're coming into your head, and they're, this is funny because a lot of, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Her question is exactly what I was talking about. Oh my gosh. Thank you, right? Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh, I love that. So let's just sit here, and I'm going to ask for Michael to give us some messages because he always had about 50 things cooking, right? And he's just showing me like your lightness. So he's showing me what makes your engine go like you're getting guidance actually, Aurora, from your projects. Like they are showing you. And you might get I'm being shown don't always take the easiest ones. Sometimes I do this. I'll take the easiest ones. Like I'll get shown 3 different things, and I'll do the one I know how to do, that I know makes money, that I know works, that I'm, let's just do that, right? I'm being shown for you, specifically Rira, that there's places now where you're being driven to light up new people, and I'm really seeing the Latin American thing as a capacity that you can enjoy with grace. So instead of it being, I have to, and I'm not saying you do that, but instead of it being a responsibility, like because I'm a woman of color, I must serve women of color, that's heavy. Do you see? That's like this thing of, I have to be this or that, or I have to carry the torch for my people, or I have to be a representative in a certain way, and all of that is the anti. Do you see? So I'm actually being shown you could dress however you want, and you do, that to wear anything you want, that the more freedom you feel, the more your people will actually be joyful. Does that make sense? Like the more you break out of Latin culture as a where as it's a shackle, okay, as it's a I mean, there's so much joy in it, and yet there's also so much have-tos and shoulds and families and this and that, and I'm being shown like these things, and he's saying, I didn't stay black. Yeah, he's saying, you know what? I did what I wanted to do, and no regrets. Like, no regrets. Like, he wanted a different nose. I was complaining about my nose. He just got a new one. It was okay. He was happy then, you know? And so other people put judgments that was wrong, that he didn't like himself, and so he changed himself. But for him, it wasn't wrong. He was like living it. He's like, I have all the money in the world. What do I want to do? I want to have this. I want to have that. So he did it. It's like, and? you know? So I'm not saying like everyone should be like Michael, but I'm just saying in these messages he's sharing right now, what I feel is a busting loose of chains. And as you keep doing that, which you already have done it a lot, Bozeman, Montana versus Mexico, right? I think I'll move to United States. Ah! Right? So you're already there. And now just to keep feeling into that and keep feeling into that. And then what happens is your tribe, it might be someone like I was listening to Daria and her chains from Russia. It might be she's your tribe. As a first generation person who's broken from the rights and the norms of her culture, it's so different now for her. Do you see? So that it might be Latin, but if you could think about it bigger as just being this huge pool of women who would like to break free from their childhoods, then all the tribes will naturally find you and naturally follow you, and it's a lot easier. Does that make sense? And it still feels like there's a little bit of weight. So do you want to just ask that to leave, whatever that is? I don't know what the hell that is. I think I can hear you now. Oh, no, I still can't. So anyways, if there's some heaviness around you, yeah, okay, cool. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So the message she put down was an obligation feeling. If I get all these changes, it's my job to share these changes with the whoever. So, and it's funny because when I'm sort of being shown, which is of course how life works, is nothing's really gray, right? No, nothing's really black, white, is the degree to which you just say, I'm not going to do that obligation. I'm going to do me in as big of a way as I can. And as Janie and I were talking about the other day, as unique of a way of you. As unique as a way of you. That your hair, that your eyes, that your clothes, the way you dress, the way you shoes, the way you walk into a room. As you brand yourself completely you. You. Like for me, my daughter, she wanted me to get a different necklace. And this necklace was just the one that popped for me. And she liked this other one that was really, really pretty. And it was just heavy. And this is the one that I liked, and I have my dragon earrings on, which I'll share with my dragon. One of my clients make dragon pots. I have to get it. I'll be right back. You watch. Look at that dragon pot. Is that Phenom? I know. The dragons talk to her. So she and I have been working on her dragon pot, her business, on the business of this versus her other business. And one of the things we talk about is being so you. Just being so you. So let's just talk to the obligation. let's just have a chat with the obligation. Also, money. Uh, I get that. How do I use it right? How do I save it right? How do I 10% it right? How do I invest it right? What gold coins do I get that are the right ones? What silver do I invest in that's the right one, not the wrong one, not the wrong one. I don't want to buy the wrong silver. It'll go down in value if I buy the wrong one. But they all say it's going to be the right one, and how will I know? It's so hard. And then how much do I charge for my classes? And then when I get all the money, what do I do with the money? And then do I just play with the money? Do I like focus on the money? Do I just feed my kids the right food with the money? I mean, oh my gosh. So this whole body of worry keeps you from getting more money. It's a moat around which the money can't cross. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It doesn't want to go to confusion. It's like I'm looking for 6 agents and I want to give one of them a deal because I have a brand new deal, and 5 of them are running around like this, and one of them's sitting there going, "Hi, good morning. How you doing? Oh, Erica, it's so good to see you. Oh, thank God. Here, would you like this deal?" Right? True story. True story. The day I got my real estate license in 2004, I got a listing. 2 problems. I hadn't quit my job, which I was I ran a major organization. I mean, it was big. I hadn't told them I was leaving. I had my real estate license, which I was kind of, playing with. And I got, so I didn't want my name on the house. Like, no one knew I was going to change my career. So, true story, 6:30 a.m. the next morning, 7 a.m., I'm walking through the brokerage. I had just joined. Nobody even knows me. Looking for someone I can give half my deal to so they can put their name on the house. And also my first client was, her mom worked for the IRS, and she asked, and her dad was a physicist, and she was an engineer, and so she asked questions about every line of the contract. And I had got my license on the 27th of March, and this was the 28th of March. And so, so as I'm walking around in the morning, I'm looking for someone to give money to, basically. I mean, the house was perfect. It's going to sell. I'm going to give someone $20,000. And they just have to be there and look nice. I mean, and be in the real estate office and everything, right? So I'm walking around, and there's a bunch of people looking furried, and there's people on the phone, and they're all tense, and that's that moat. Okay, that's that block. That's that nothing can get to you because you're such a mess, right? Now, there's one lady, she's like, "Hi, good morning. I haven't met you yet. I'm Sherry." I'm like, "Oh, Sherry, I'm so glad to meet you. Are you good at listings? Would you like one?" And she's like, "Oh, that would be fantastic, right?" And I'll give you half. Just go back with me and put your sign out, and so that way I can keep my low profile until I quit my job. But I guess the reason that showed up to me is to kind of just illustrate that calmness and that peace with money, and that the tools that you have are money. What should I do with you today? Money, how could you best serve me today? Money, how much of you should go in my 10% today? Money, what do I need for March, April, May, and June? What do I need to the end of the year? What would be fabulous? Not to overwhelm me, but to have a cognizance of what's kind of already spent. Because for me, my housing and some of my flat things, my fancy, non-fancy phone, and all the phones of all the little people that I support. We get a family 4-pack. And they're all, 12, 13, and 14, so I pay. But that money really till December is already kind of spent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not aware of it, it kicks me in the ass and the phone gets cut off. If I just sit there, look at it, and then I go, well, what else would be fun with money? Well, maybe a new top, or maybe I need a dress for my New York TV shoot, ladies. Or if I'm someone else in our group, maybe I need shoes. Right? I mean, maybe I need shoes. So I don't think, I do feel like when money's working for me, that my intuition and my other parts of my brain are all functioning together.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. Eureka, can you talk now where I can hear you? Because I think I heard you.
I don't know. Yeah, can you?
So when money's working for you, what does that feel like?
Oh, light, expensive, ease.
Mm-hmm.
I feel potent. I feel powerful. Like I can do everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it would like to always be that way for you, right?
Yes.
Right. So here's the thing. When you're in the crunch part, it's after the messed up crap has already happened.
Yes.
So when you're in the crunch part, you can't change what you did 3 months ago. Because cause and effect isn't always immediate, right?
Yeah.
So when you've made choices 3 or 4 months ago that weren't putting it aside, that weren't honoring you, that weren't flowing it to yourself in the future in a way that supported you in this present exact moment, then you get into that crunch, which is that fear, right? So now, or constriction, or using money not to do things you want to do, right? I can't do this because of money, I can't do that because of money, and then money becomes this big, huge glut, right?
Yeah.
So you can't control that. So when you're in that moment where it's all messed up, you have to monkey discipline your mind to shift into a place of remembering the muscle memory of when it's working. I'm going to use a different example because money still feels really charged, okay? I can feel it. All of us, all three of us, we all have that going on. We're all really charged about money. I'm going to pretend we're a bunch of professional athletes. Okay, we've just lost 7 games. Okay? But last year we got the ring. Okay, last year we got the ring. We were triumphant. We were the winners. Our bodies won, right? They did whatever it took, and we got the ring. I know the guys get the ring. Isn't that funny? Oh, the Super Bowl guys got a ring. I love it. Okay. They did. They get the ring. That's what you get. You get a ring. So that's basketball. Okay. So you want the damn ring, right? You want the ring. You want the ring. So now you have the ring, but so-and-so got into a dispute, and so-and-so made this other choice, and so-and-so made this other choice, and now your team sucks. And so you walk onto the court, what does your body do? What kind of behaviors does it do?
Blah.
It does losing behaviors. It's kind of given up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on all charters. It's not charging on its... Do you feel that what I'm talking about? When you're totally stressed out about money, you're not charging.
Right.
You're not on all your cylinders. You're playing like you're going to lose.
Oh.
Getting on the field like you're going to lose.
Oh.
Because your body is not remembering last year when you won the ring. It's remembering last week when every team in the world beat you 5 times in a row in your head, and maybe you just lost once, right? Because you haven't screwed up with money your whole life. And if you have, it's time to change now anyways, right?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is tap into that winningness and just feel it right now, both of you. And everyone listening in the future, just tap into the winningness when everything's firing, when the cylinders are firing. And then you ask your body questions like, how can I outcreate this moment? How can my body be even more of me? Who can I connect with that will want to give me thousands of dollars today? Who will I connect with that would like to just change everything with me collaboratively, and I'll be their catalyst, and they'd like to give me money because I know how they can do it and they want to do it. And then you give them permission, and then everything starts functioning. But you can't be in last week or last month or 2 years ago, or I forgot to do my 10% for 10 years, or I just couldn't honor me enough to have the money I needed when I needed it. It's all that judgment, all that cycling is pulling you back into those losing moments. And like, it's really funny. I go back to like Michael Jordan. How many baskets did he miss? Does he sit there and think about all those times he missed when he's doing a free throw? No, he can't.
No.
You have to be fierce in your discipline to remembering what works for you, how you felt when things worked for you, how you felt when you stood in a workshop and all the people came. Now they're going to come to that winning energy. Do you see?
Yeah.
When you're not sure, your energy is very different. Okay? So that was really fun. Did you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Was that yummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some really cool downloads. I'm doing a project right now with money, and I was working with a woman who was born to a man who was born sick rich. And then her mom was really rich. And her dad was born silver spoon. Like, she actually showed me the silver spoon. Silver spoon. She showed me his actual silver spoon. I'm not kidding. I sat there with her, and I said, wow. I'm looking at her apartment, and then she's telling me where she came from. And what she chose was, instead of aligning with those pieces that she knew by her genetic code, and she had cellular memory of extreme wealth for her first 15 years of life. And she let all that go because she wanted to do one thing that her family wouldn't let her do, and so she just dumped it all. And began telling stories of poverty. And began telling stories of how she lost the money. And what I got shown was, every time you repeat those stories, you solidify them. And so then there's the discipline of connecting again to your successful you. And I have to tell you the funniest thing, one thing really funny. After I did that call, I actually went out and ordered nice silver. Because what I was shown was, when you put nice silver, like, it's going on your body. And so if your silverware drawer looks like a camping trip with 15 different kinds that came from who knows where, you're putting all these weird things on your mouth. And I was just shown that, wouldn't it be nicer to have the silver spoon? I wasn't shown you had to. But if you're looking at shifting that, then what do you put on your body? What do you put near your body? What do you bring into your body? What do you drink? What do you do? And then with your intuition, it's going to show you. Like, I had a choice. All these crazy things happen when you're doing this work, and everything changes, and my phone broke. So this phone broke. Okay? And I could have gotten an iPhone free. Like, I could have upgraded free, but then it would have been like $30 a month. You know what I mean? Like, free today.
Yeah.
Not forever.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten a different Android, and I could have gotten this, and I could have gotten that. And ladies, I honestly had trouble choosing. Because when I get caught with like a whole new phone decision, I found one unlocked that was my same one, but but brand new. And it was like $80 cash, which wasn't that much less than like some of the newer phones. But then I do a new contract, and I have to commit to this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I put on 4 pieces of paper. This is one of my tools that I like to do. I'll just sneak preview what book while no one's looking. Janie's in it. I know. A little sneak peek for anyone who's bearing with me. It's so pretty, isn't it, Janie? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I put on 4 pieces of paper my 4 choices, and then I said which one is the most generative, and I got just replace that phone. Don't take on the new contract. Don't get a new iPhone. Don't upgrade into the Mac system. It was just replace it. That's the most generative choice. That choice was $80 cash. I didn't have to call T-Mobile. It didn't take me 3 hours. It didn't take me shipping anything to me. It was like a really simple choice. Now, that wasn't the choice I wanted. I wanted to upgrade. I wanted to have something shiny.
Yeah.
I wanted something pretty. I wanted the new spoons. I wanted the silver. Right? Like I wanted that, right? And Eureka, when I was asking about money,
Price is like $100 difference if I go to Houston and fly from Houston to Mexico and come back. Oh, she's back.
She moves. Yay!
Hi!
oh my goodness, nothing is showing up the way I thought it would today. I'm going to end the call, but you guys are hanging out. Did you want to ask me any questions, JD? And Eureka, do you have any? Wait, Eureka, do you have any grandparents with you from the other side, or great grandmother?
Say again.
Do you have any mom or do you have a grandma or great grandma from the other side that might want to give you a message?
A grandma. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you live with her when you were little? No.
Yeah, I was very close to her, and she left when I was 14 years old.
She's so proud of you. She loves what you're doing.
Thank you.
She says you go.
Thanks.
Go, baby. And she wants you to eat more food of her kind.
Grandma, I need to lose weight. That food doesn't help.
Oh no, she likes you kind of rounder.
I think she wants me round. No.
Well, she just came by to say she's proud of you. She has pretty eyes. She's pretty. Yeah. And she liked the kitchen. She liked it when the house smelled good. She also kind of had very certain things about how everything was supposed to be, though.
Oh.
Yeah, she liked everything to be kind of a certain nice way. So she's just sending her love, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things, and maybe you can both chime in on this, is when you're doing this kind of work, it feels like your awareness does grow so much. And then what do you do with all that awareness? Like, or Janie, do you want to share? Eureka, you want to share? Like, what are some strategies when you do start having like more and more awareness? Like you're really reading situations.
Definitely ask questions. Yeah. Sometimes I forget to do that, and I'm like, where is all this coming from? And what I found is, like, you know, when I'm in the resonance, like you were talking about before, when I'm there, it's like I don't even have to ask questions. It's just like a knowing of where everything's coming from. Even if I have multiple things coming at once, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm able to know where everything's coming from and what's talking to me. But when I'm off, I feel like I'm not quite sure who to talk to. Yeah. And that's when I go, yeah, ask questions.
I just got clear on how because if you're interacting with a couple people but you're really busy reacting and responding to everything all the time, you get very limited in how many people you can actually talk to.
Yeah.
And when you start having more and more tools, and so like one person can be freaking out, and then 5 people can be doing great, and then 6 people can be doing something new, and I start being able to navigate like at just a much different capacity. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yuri, what about you for when your um, intuition goes on overdrive? What kinds of things can you do?
Oh,
Think about things.
you know, when I'm in that awareness of everything and I'm not realizing I'm in that, I get my body reminds me that it really is like it's screaming at me like a kind of intensity here, my hips like. And when did I ask like, what is this? It's like, phew, okay, oh, and I get the information, but I forget many times. But now my body is really like, and then that makes me ask to ask questions and getting what is going on. And sometimes it's interesting because sometimes it's just to have the awareness, to have the information, and I ask, it's something that I should do with this, and most of the time is no, just sit there with that information and be present with that information, and that's it. Could you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Like it, to have the ability to hear information, receive information, but not to necessarily have to do anything with it. That comes up for me a lot with my children because like if they go in, my daughter came home from a visit to her dad's and she had all these weird thoughts in her head, and she goes, "I ruined the family, Mom." And she's like 12.
Oh.
And I'm like, I go, what if it was amazing that you chose me and your dad? And then what if now you're choosing beyond? And what if now you're choosing 2 houses, 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, 2 families, and then now I've got someone in my life, and now you're choosing that, and I get to have my dream person in my life, and I couldn't before. And what if it's all that? Like, instead of being the way it turned out is my fault. And she was basically just holding a thought that someone else had put in her head and then saying it.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because that's one thing I've kind of been playing with lately is kind of some of the differences in intuition, like spiritual guidance, and crap that isn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I talk to spirits so much, they can send me messages. It's like them wishing they were in my body. Like, I'd like to have some Fritos. Like, that might be my mom. Just really missing salty crunch. And I'm not really that crazy about Fritos, but man, I get in a store and I see the Fritos and I'm like, oh, I gotta buy those. And that really is my mom's pulsing energy through me of wanting that taste of that Fritos that she can't have now because she's not in her body anymore, you know? And so that is something that I spend time working on clarifying and letting go of that. But I think that was really interesting, Yurira, that you got the MBA story out of me. I was just seriously thinking that story like yesterday. Like, what would I do if I was losing to turn everything around? And I was like getting these messages of I would, tell my body, ask my body to behave as if it's all just like slamming, working, kicking it, like as if I felt like that, as if the bank account was like that, as if this was like that. How would because do you notice when you're not worried about money how much more you fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also when you're worried about money, do you use that to fire you, to wake you up?
Yeah.
Like, I have to pay this, so now I'm going to create that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do that too much, that's addictive also. Because then you're letting it drive you, do you see, you're letting it kind of invert itself on you. Like, I'm not going to create something unless I have to make the money for it. Because then that thing has an energy of that's very different from I'm at ease, I'm in expansion, I'm doing my gifts, I'm going to make something that's going to kick it, and I'm going to get paid like great for it. But if someone signs up and backs out, it's okay. Because it's okay. I'm good. I got these other sources, and I've done the savings, and I have the money for the rent through the summer. I have the money for this, or I have the money for that. So now I create these things, but they're out of this space of, what would even be like 15 times better than that? Oh my gosh, what would be 20 times better than that? Not so I can pay a bill tomorrow, because do you see, then I'm limiting the money that can come in to pay that bill tomorrow. And let's say it's only a $200 bill, but I really need it really bad, then I'm limiting myself today to make $200. And if I make that, I can breathe. Oh my God, I can pay that bill tomorrow. But now I'm not going to make $15,000 because I've set my sights on 200, so I can breathe, and then I can be happy, and I can make that payment, and I can get that airplane ticket that I have to have. And so I put all my sights on that one thing that's worth that much. And it feels really good because then I get it, and I'm like, oh, I kick ass. Do you see I got that,
Yeah.
I'm so awesome. And then I reward myself for doing it, and that repeats it. It's an addiction. And it doesn't let you say, what if I wanted to make $30,000 a month? What would that look like? What would my business look like at $40,000 a month? What would that feel like? What would my business feel like at $85,000 a month? What would that feel like?
Oh,
oh my gosh, right?
Yeah.
What would it feel like month on month, and I'm giving so much and everyone loves it and they're coming to me and it's all just flow? Oh, what would that feel like? So when you're focused too hard on making small payments, and it's absolutely not wrong to make enough money to pay your bills. That is not wrong. That is awesome. And when you are doing that for the first time, it feels like aces. Like, oh my gosh, I can take care of this bill. And I'm not putting against that. I'm saying, let's see what happens when we say, I want to be 15 times that. I want to be 20 times that. I want to leave that need of that $100 so far in the dust that if I get hit by an unexpected $100, I got hit by an unexpected $100 yesterday. I took my car to the auto shop, and it's all being taken care of because it wasn't my fault accident. So they're taking care of everything. I showed up. They gave me a really nice rent-a-car, by the way. I don't really want my car back. I have a rent-a-car. It's like beautiful. It's like, oh, baby. My daughter actually said, Mom, can you take skating on Friday in this? It's not nice. I mean, so it's gorgeous, brand new, 3,000 miles on it vehicle, sparkling. And in fact, I took it to get washed right away because it had some dust on it. And I'm like, if I'm going to be in this car, I'm going to get it washed. So I took my brand new rent-a-car to get washed, and now it even sparkles even greater. But as I was signing up, they're like, oh, everything's taken care of. The rent-a-car is taken care of. It's going to go directly to hit them. You don't even have to pay. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, we need $100. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we have to hit your card for $100 so we know you're a person, or you know what I mean, like some lie on page 1732 or whatever. And I just and so I got hit for $100. Now I will get it back. You know, it's not like they're gonna keep it because I'll give the car back maybe.
Well, and if you got it for $100, how's it better than that?
Yeah. But I mean, the point is, I didn't stress about it because I have the money flowing. I have the income coming in. There's a lot of stuff going on. I have good things showing up. My artists are paid for. The books are all ordered. Like everything's working. So when I got hit, and let's just say that was $1,000, right, or $2,000, or something unexpected. When the money's flowing like that, then you don't have to sit there and just feel that angst around everything. You know. Some of us have lived in angst for so long, it's actually a drug. It's actually a drug. The angst is a drug. And I'm just going to put it like that because it's an actual piece of adrenaline. I took psychology, and when you are about to get in an accident or something, like you get a rush of it. It's in your body. Mm-hmm. And it happens whenever you get into big fear or whenever you have a near miss, if you fell off a horse. All these things will get released in your body. So the fear of not having enough money or the fear of not making it, that is a chemical that goes in your body that we actually can get addicted to. And we can use it to drive us. Do you see? Much like caffeine. We can just put it in our body. Oh, good. I've put the fuel in. Now I can make money. So as you start making money without that fuel, it's a different way of making money. It's not as urgent. It's not as incessant. You don't have to sign them up today. The world is going to keep turning if they don't. Everybody feels that when you have that intensity. Do you see? Even though it's chemical and even though it's an addiction, even though it's cancer causing and even though it's bad for us, we still get into that addiction of that adrenaline rush to try to get whatever it is we need so that we can survive. And so when you shift beyond it, you're in a calmness. Do you see?
I have a question on that.
And yeah, I'll just finish that one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not used to calmness, your body will try to create drama again. And if you give it lots of money, it'll try to create it some other way. Because once you're addicted to it, you're going to want it back until you actually let go of it being in your body. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Any abuse of anything is addictive. And I mean, I'm not perfect. I love my caffeine. I use it to shoot all my neurons, my ADD brain, you know. But I use it very consciously. I take caffeine. I'm like, I'm going to have caffeine right now. You know, I'm very upfront to my body. Don't worry, you're gonna get your caffeine. Mm-hmm. And then on the drama, I've been weaning it away, right, from the X energy. I've been weaning that out of my body, and it's really interesting. Janie, what was your question?
I'm echoing.
Not to me.
Okay. What I have noticed is that like that anxiety stuff comes up, like what you were just talking about, and then there's trauma and drama, but it's not like I really have a motivator. Like I know that I don't want to be there. I guess I'm not clear on what my motivator is.
You mean you don't know what it's doing for you, that drug?
No, like a motivator to not go there.
Well, what's something you'd like to achieve in your life that you haven't achieved yet? Okay, what's an income level you'd like to achieve you haven't achieved yet?
Oh, at least like 10 grand a month or more.
So, in order to change and shift, whatever it is you want to change and shift, so you're asking for the money thing, and probably almost everyone listening would love more money. You know, money's good. Um, you're going to have more access to more tools when you're not running around on that habit trail of anxiety. It
Okay.
uses up the day. It's like your gasoline tank is driving you somewhere, and if it has to go off on a detour for 6 hours, you're not going to get to the same place on the same tank of gas.
Right.
Okay? So if
Okay.
let's say you have a full tank, and then now I have to go take my kid's notebook back to her high school. First she woke up late, so I have to take her to high school instead of the bus. And then I have to go back to the high school to take her notebook because she forgot her notebook. So now it's 10 a.m. and I'm 2.5 hours off of everything, and I've used up gasoline and I've used up time. That's what the anxiety stuff does. It's the
Right.
same. It takes up space in your life. It uses your energy, and it doesn't take you on your directional. Wherever your directional wants you to go, you have now just lost 4 or 5 hours. Let's say you want to be skinnier, right? Janie, not you. You're skinny.
I could go there as well.
Let's say you want your body to be different, and you spend 4 hours drinking beer and eating pizza. Okay? Where are you on that trajectory compared to if you spent 3 or 4 hours getting a manicure, sitting in the hot tub, going swimming, and going on a long walk?
Right.
And not ingesting any pizza or beer and sitting still for 4 hours. So those 4 hours went by. You wanted to be skinnier, and you spent 3.5 of them drinking beer and eating pizza. Now you feel even more sluggish, and your stomach looks really cute.
And you can't walk straight.
You can't walk straight. And you don't feel like going to the gym.
No!
The next morning, instead of going to the gym, you take aspirin. I mean, if you had that much beer. So if you wanted to lose weight and you spent a bunch of hours doing things that are contraindicative of that, and I'm not expert on losing weight. I like my weight, actually, but I'm just not really a losing weight kind of person yet at this point. Maybe I will be. You never know. I'm open to change. But, like, if I'm going to work out, I can't be also eating pizza and drinking beer. So the anxiety and any kind of addiction to drama, any kind of attention, over-attention to one person in your life versus everything in your life, to drama them, to figure them out, to think about them, any one thing. Now, I don't mean like my 12-year-old loving her deeply, but I mean like, let's say her teacher and I got into a thing and I spent 2 weeks obsessing about the teacher and me. I mean, hopefully I would never do that, but what if? I'm now 2 weeks older. Every hour I gave that teacher, I wasn't building my business. I wasn't talking to new clients. I wasn't building workshops. I wasn't listening to Michael Jackson Spirit give me fun information about how to look cute.
Where to get your new nose.
I'm not going to change my nose, actually, but I do kind of, it was really funny. I have to tell you this. I thought I liked black because of my weight, because I'm, nice and thick. But you know what? I just really like black and gold. I just really like it.
It's pretty.
Like, I love black and gold. And so I thought I was liking it for this one reason, but it turns out I really like black and gold. Like, that's a really cool thing for me. So I just unabashedly went and got some more black and gold clothing, which, by the way, match everything I have. Isn't that funny?
That's awesome.
So anytime you spend too much time addicted to any one bit of drama looping, or you don't take the time to do the bars or do the body processes that allow you to get freedom from that, you're now just not, all it means is if you wanted to be here and you're here, it's just going to take you longer. It doesn't mean you can't go there, But do you want to be at 10K a year in 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months?
A week?
So when you laugh when you say a week, well, 10K a month to get there in a week is setting yourself up because you really need about 6 months to see if you did it.
Okay.
Like to do 10, I don't mean you need to get to that level in 6 months. You're
Right.
not going to see it in 7 days.
Right.
Unless you make 60K in 7 days, and then you will have made it for the next 6 months.
Okay.
So if you want to commit to 70K in the next 6 days, then you can have 10K a month in a week. So you want to use language that's not an impossibility.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at it that way before.
So you want to say, I'll be at 10K a month. I'm going to do 10K a month practices. What would that look like? What would that feel like? What trajectory do I have to do? What do I have to do to make my website look good? Who do I have to invite to my business? Who do I have to invite to my business again? Eureka, how many times have I invited you into my books? Right?
Woo, she says.
Now, she said yes when it's right.
Yeah.
And she does it when it's not light. And we're friends.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Very
She
cool.
doesn't ever say, oh, why did she invite me into that book? You know? Why did Corey invite me to her workshop? No. I think how cool. She's doing that workshop. That looks so awesome. I wish I could do it. I'm busy on Sunday. I've got pre-Super Bowl activities. I know, I'm obsessed with professional sports. So, I am. I'm not kidding. My Twitter persona is all athletes. It's really fun. Okay, getting derailed.
That lifted some of that heaviness that I was still feeling.
Yeah, I mean, what can I do today to get me to 10K a month right away? What can I do today to get me to 10K a month right away? What can I do today? What action, what belief, what system, what place, what person? What thing can I start? What thing can I create? What workshop can I build? Who can I invite into my life? What would that look like? What would that feel like? And do you see if I'm paying attention to the drama? I'm not doing that at all.
Right.
And so I think that was one of the reasons to have this call, was to show how vital it is that we discipline ourselves to live with our light self.
Mm-hmm.
That brings me back to Rira talking about like what I was shown when she asked about if I had 2 or 3 projects that light me up. Which one should I do? It's going to be the one that charges you the most, the one that excites you the most, the one that pops, the one that talks to you. And then sometimes it will be the old thing that you already know. So you can't, that's the thing about awareness, right?
Yeah.
It might show you to do a workshop next week in your hometown teaching yoga. Like, that might be, right?
You know, it's very funny because with the projects that I have, and it's like being out of Postman. This is funny, and I hope my husband never listens something like that. But being away of like creating something away from Postman, it lights me up. Like, whatever, it's just like yeah, I'll do it. And when I'm trying to create, and I say trying because it's really a try to create something here, it gets heavy, and it's just like, yeah, it gets heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see you being in like 6 states, like just every other month being in a new state. Like just always being, and then having that to look forward to.
Yes.
Right? I worked for a little while with a woman who lives in Colorado and travels all around and teaches everywhere. When she goes home, she's really home. She's not really doing a lot. She every once in a while will do something there, But on the international level, she's fantastic. She's in demand. She has clients everywhere. When she gets home, that's kind of like just her place. Like it's not, not a lot happening there.
Mm.
So what if that's okay?
What is that's okay? Yeah.
I see you love it. I see that travel, I see that travel for you is really good. Yeah. Janie, for you, I can see you doing more community stuff.
Mhm.
Do you do more community stuff? I see you being able to do community stuff, like healing stuff, hands-on things. Maybe it's because you do all the chiropractic stuff.
It could be. I haven't done any of that since I came to Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
I did go to one meetup thing, but I haven't done a whole lot of like social networking with creating like a different group here or
I met,
anything
I
like
met
that.
the director of the women's networking group in Phoenix. I can give you her name if you like.
Sure.
I just met her. She's super nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Alrighty, well that was basically this. Today was just this kind of like using our intuition to guide us. And it turned out we talked about money, which is always fun. About letting go of the drama. That was really good. And then tuning into that place where our life's just like kicking butt. And then just keeping asking ourselves for more and more and more and more of that. And then, one other tool I'll just leave you with. Sometimes when life is being challenging, I say, what can I be a yes to? And I'll wake up, because if I want people to say yes to me, if I'm calling people and I want them to be yes to be authors, yes to take my classes, yes, I'll say, where am I not being a yes? And I'll try to find some things to say yes to. I know that sounds very counterintuitive.
No, I just read that in one of my programs yesterday.
Really?
You probably picked it right out of my head.
Yeah. It's like, so then I wake up and I say, I'm being a yes. And I don't know what that means yet, but I'm going to be a yes. I'm a yes. And then I'll say yes to some things. And maybe that's just even like needing to go to the grocery store and getting a different kind of something. Like I'm going to be a yes. And then when I ask people to do anything or to come work with me or to come take a 6-month course I'm teaching or something, or maybe I'm doing a, being sexual series or something. When I'm being a yes, then I'm going to encourage more yeses to me. And so then I just try to be a yes a little bit more. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be a yes to things that I abhor. It just means I look at what can I be a yes to so I can change my energy to a yes. And then people want to say yes to me. They just feel it. It's just natural. It's not like anything that they try. They just can't be a no when everything's a yes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's showing up for me to share was sometimes waking up and just being a yes to whatever that means. So thank you so much for your time, ladies. I so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Even though we had some little craziness with our technology.
Oh, well.
It worked.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.